global platform for disaster risk reduction brings together, I believe it's 191 nations focused on learning from one another to be able to reduce losses from disasters. And it's very important that we learn from each other. We learn from the experiences of other countries that have experienced disasters, how they responded, and particularly what other countries have done to prepare and to mitigate the impacts from natural disasters.
If we think things have been bad with regard to disasters and hazards in the past, and they have been, the future is potentially even more severe. There are always going to be extreme weather events. I mean, it's the way the planet cools itself and maintains, in effect, the basic standards of life. The problem is they only become disasters when they get in the way of human development and human activities, because humans put things in the way of a natural phenomenon, like villages that should not be on floodplains and other types of structures. I've often found it interesting that hazards and people seem to like the same places. Hurricanes like coasts, so do people.
And one of the great challenges is, as we do have increasing growth in coastal areas, in earthquake-prone areas, that we are able to build better and take into account issues like building codes and better land use planning with an awareness of hazard assessments.
Our mission is to reduce death and suffering in the world's most vulnerable communities through preparedness. In the lifetime of the children living in Padang today, there will undoubtedly be a tsunami that, if it occurred today, would kill 400,000 people. And it is possible by building raised earth parks with soccer fields on top to give them a route of safety, a safe haven. And that's what we would like to propose to do.
Because we all have a common interest, which is to reduce the loss of lives so that we can help alleviate suffering and reduce the social and economic impact of disasters.
You know, lowering vulnerability and increasing resilience and all those things are at the heart of it. It's not simply a governmental matter, and the expertise and so on does not reside only with government. Government's important, government's critical, but particularly the NGOs and humanitarian organizations have a lot to contribute.
This meeting is one of the largest meetings on disaster risk reduction, bringing a variety of stakeholders, governments, and others together to discuss the common issue of disasters.
I think this is a terrific opportunity to just, again, build off each other's efforts and continue a dialogue so we can pull more and more people sitting at the table.
But we feel that with the increase of disasters globally, there needs to be much more emphasis on disaster preparedness and disaster risk reduction before the event. And it's getting the government and the national and NGOs and civil society together to reduce risk before the disaster, so it decreases loss of life, decreases loss of assets and economic impacts due to disaster.
We're now looking at how to sort of shift the paradigm so that we engage the whole community as partners. And that means when it comes to people with disabilities, 20% of the U.S. population, that means looking at physical accommodations, effective communication, and accessibility in our programs.
The danger, the threats, the impacts of disasters tends to be something that cuts across often diverse ideas. It's something that people who sometimes disagree can all agree on and fight on.